Hey, how's it going? Welcome back to another episode of the Duo Group Iron Man. In the last video, I finally tried out Desert Treasure 2 bosses for the first time after the quest. And by bosses, I mean one boss because I only did Vardorvis, but I did 500 KC last video. And I had a lot of fun with this boss. I really did enjoy it, but it is time to move on to a different boss because there's 3 more Desert Treasure 2 bosses, and the one I want to do in this video is the Duke. However, right now, UIM Loki's offered to do some duo CMs with me, and I will take any opportunity I can get to do some duo CMs, so let's gear up for that. And let me just show you my collection log for chambers. I have 9 CMs completed, and on average, like each CM takes probably about an hour, a bit under an hour, but probably over an hour if you include the time kind of just standing around after each raid being like, okay, I guess we'll go in now.
Right,
oh wait, I can make it right. I can make it right. Come on, baby. Oh wait.
Oh, you're one off.
First raid. No. Oh, what's that? Oh, I'm a CM master now because I got 10 KC. I just got a combat task. Together we'll fall. Oh yeah, kill all the vanguards within 10 seconds of killing the first one. Fuck.
Oh shit.
Holy. We're good, and we get nothing. I was just thinking about that combat task, together we'll fall. Do you think that's a reference to that phrase, united we stand, divided we fall? Or do you think that's a reference to the Sum 41 song, Confusion and Frustration in Modern Times?
Yes.
Good luck.
474, no purple. Hey, there's the rubies in the ID ore. You'll love to see it.
Well, it's kind of funny because yesterday she was just telling me that you sound like an owl.
Who? Yeah. Wow. I can't believe I just... Yep.
Holy.
Or the teak planks and the raiders. You'll love to see it.
It makes my job really easy, just you talking instead of me.
You hear my cat yowling into the abyss?
What, is your cat doing rune crafting or something? Yeah, thanks for the raids.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, that's how I
Yeah,
feel.
thanks, man.
And I'll see you on the Kip side. Cool, fun little CM session today, and now it is time for the Duke Sucellus. Yeah. Until I get the tablet from the boss for the teleport, I'm going to have to teleport to Weiss, so I'm going to use the portal nexus to get there and then run through this thing. Oh, right, I guess I don't actually need the Ring of Shadows until I get the teleport, so I'll go back into the bank until I get the tablet, which is 1 out of 25, but it has a mechanic where the more KC you get, the more likely you are to get the drop. I haven't fought this boss since doing the quest, and even then during the quest it was pretty scuffed. I just watched the guide, so I think I understand the basics at least. Here's my gear setup if you want to take a look at it. Apparently the Warrior's Ring might be better. I'd have to enter that into the DPS calc, but it'd be such a small difference that the time it would take me to enter it into the DPS calc might just not be worth the time. And just like with Vardorvis, this boss is extra weak to slash, so this is one of the few instances where you actually want to use the thing on slash instead of stab. If you go into the better NPC highlight plugin, you could add the ID for the vents here. It's 12198, and it'll show which vents pop up because you don't want to stand on them or else you'll take damage. Now, unfortunately, the plugin up until the last game update used to show before the gas fumes started coming up, but now it doesn't do that. Now it just comes up when the fumes start coming up. So hopefully they can change that in the future or make it so there's some kind of warning before the fumes come up, because as of right now, it just pops up on you like that without warning. Sweet, that was, okay. I have to, oh my god, 1 KC, or I guess technically 2 KC, what the, wow, 15 minutes, 48 seconds. I used a lot of food because I was trying to learn how to get into the rhythm. Wow, that's great. Okay, so use that on there, and now I can teleport to, well, we'll see where the teleport is. Huge, 3 KC, awesome. Wow, I beat my PB by over 10 minutes, that's crazy. If I just keep the pestle and mortar on me at the end of every trip, I'll end up with a lot of free pestle and mortars, which, well, I could already get that from the Herblore Cape. But what I do want to bring with me is the Dragon Pickaxe, because this helps you mine the salt faster. So you don't want to use the iron pick that they give you in there. Arclight is good to use too, but I just want to save charges, so I'm just using my Fang. I don't know how much of a difference it is. Let's use the ring though, and we'll teleport to option 2, Gorok. This is where it takes you, and this is really good, not just for the Duke boss, but for Muspa, because the Muspa boss is right over here. So now, if / when I ever go back to Muspa, I won't have to make that whole run from the Weiss teleport every time. Another thing that's beneficial there, besides actually using Thralls, because so far I haven't used Thralls a single time, would be using the Serp Helm, because you can Venom the Duke. So I'm going to use that instead of Face Guard. I'm going to fully charge this up, and maybe if I remember, I'll try to determine the amount of charges used per kill at some point, maybe. That felt like a really fast kill. It was 204. Nice. Just to clarify, the boss can't get venomed, but it gets poisoned. So if you do venom it, it just gets converted to poison. And I put a couple clips or hit splats on screen, you could see the poison damage. Ooh, that was a perfect kill. So I mentioned this last video with all the DT2 bosses. If you do a perfect kill, which is a kill where you don't take any avoidable damage, then you get 50% more loot from the boss. Ooh, okay, so fun fact, if you mess up on phase 1 of the boss fight, like I got hit by one of those lightning strike things, then you still get the 50% extra loot, because that's what just happened to me. Unless it's bugged and it's not supposed to be that way, but that's what just happened right now. Wait, what just happened here? Hold on. Dude, if replay buffer and runelight didn't exist, no one would believe this. What the hell? Got beginner, easy, and medium clue from one birdhouse. After having done so many birdhouses, you would think by now I would have seen it all, but clearly I have not seen it all. That's insane. So I guess that must mean that there does exist a theoretical scenario where you get every single type of clue from one bird nest, right? Dude. Oh my gosh, Virtus robe bottom. What? Dude, that's insane. There's a 1 in 90 chance to roll the unique table, and basically overall the drop rate for a specific piece of Virtus is 1 in 2160, or to see any piece, it's 1 in 720. And I just got that at 20 KC. Granted, I did do 500 Vardy KC. Even then, I was still really lucky with all the DT2 boss KC combined. That's insane. The main difference between Virtus and Ancestral is that Virtus gives 1% magic damage, whereas Ancestral gives 2% magic damage. And magic damage is really the important thing. But this is used for Ancients. So when you're using Ancients, you get 4% instead of 1%. So anywhere that you'd use Ancients, you would use the Virtus over Ancestral for the most part. I can't believe that, dude. That's insane. Okay, I guess, yeah, I'll keep grinding out Duke, because I feel like I'm just getting started here. Feels kind of bad because my buddy Puff's been grinding Duke on his UIM for the last couple days. I'm like, hey, I'm gonna start doing Duke myself now. And he's at like almost 200 KC, or now he's over 200 KC. And he's like giving me advice on Duke. He's like, hey, I wonder what your PB is gonna be. After 200 KC, he has a 244 PB. And I just absolutely destroy his PB immediately. And of course he's being a good sport about it because he's a good guy. But yeah, I hope he gets something good soon. Destroy UIM's morale with this one simple trick. Have a bank and better gear and better stats. Okay. I'm not trying to destroy him here. Anyways, yeah. Whoa, a birdhouse level. A hunter level 106. Which is 26 million hunter XP. I have a chill time activity to do for this video. It's going to be agility because I am in desperate need of Marks of Grace. I know this looks like a lot, but I want to buy every set, or just about every set at least, of Graceful, and that's going to cost, I think, more Marks of Grace than I already have. So I want to get a bunch more marks, so I'm going to go run laps at Artie, and maybe I'll keep track of my agility XP I gain throughout this video if I actually end up doing a lot. No promises. Oh wait, I'm a couple laps late. I was like waiting for this for so long and I missed it, but I got 6666 laps, so I feel like that's kind of notable. Agility session is done. I'm going back to Duke. I got 42 Marks of Grace during this time, which is equivalent to 420 doses of stamina, which is 105 4-dose stamina potions. It's still a bit too early to know for sure how many doses of stamina I use at Duke, but it's probably maybe one dose every 2 kills, 1 to 2 kills. And when I do solo chambers, I use probably 6 to 8 doses of stamina per raid, or even more for the CMs. And this is, I guess it's an all right amount, but I realize I am starting to kind of quickly go through these.
I love his attack animation because he's just like hitting the ground with his flippers. It just looks like he's like a big angry baby.
I see what you mean now by big angry baby. Just 45 Runite Aura, that's insane. I still can't believe they added British people to Osrs. It just blows my mind. Oh, I just got a PV, it was 201. That didn't even feel that fast. Interesting, so this time the only damage I took wasn't during the boss fight, it was just from the vents here before the fight in phase 1, and I didn't get the 50% extra loot. Yeah, I've been testing this multiple times and Puff was testing it too, and it seems pretty certain that if you get hit by the lightning, it doesn't count against you, and if you get hit by the vents, it does count against you. This just makes me laugh. Nice, the theory has to be correct then. I tested each one multiple times, on purpose of course. Ah yes, of course, my lightning tank was on purpose as well. Man, we are such good scientists. Now I'm thinking about this really niche reference that I'm not sure if anyone's gonna get, but my favorite show, like, ever is Regular Show, and the two main characters do this thing where they're like, That's just how I feel right now. Oh, first time getting this drop, 1,000 soul runes from Duke. That would be great for the Shadow. This is 100 KC at Duke. Awakener's Orb, the first one from Duke, which are 1 in 48 from Duke specifically. This game's so unfair to me, man. Oh, PB 155. Dude, that was insane. Ooh, the Ice Quartz. Cool, that's the upgrade to the Ancient Scepter. It's 1 out of 200, but it also becomes more common the rarer or the drier you go, so... At the time of recording this right now, it's still kind of unknown how the increased chance of getting the item works. A new addition to my repertoire of inventory setup that I should have added before is going to be Death Runes and Soul Runes. I can store 1 more rune in the rune pouch, so it'll just be -1 inventory slot, but this way I will be able to use Death Charge, so after every kill I'll get 15% more special attack. I wasn't using this during Vardorvis because I would only get like 2 kill trips on average, so it wouldn't even get me another spec, but in this case I've been doing like 4 kill trips minimum, if not even more if I get supply drops. Having a couple extra BGS specs for each trip is actually really helpful because the BGS really makes a big difference if you hit a decent spec. Ooh, I'm about to get 6-hour logs, so I'm gonna log off and I want to see something. So in 6 hours at Duke, I got 83 KC, which is an average of just under 14 kills per hour. During that time though, I did get up and do stuff around the house while just staying logged in, so if I was actually paying attention, it'd probably be maybe like 15 KC per hour, but yeah, over time you would expect your kills per hour to go down like with anything in the game, so 14 kills per hour. Another little agility session done. I'm just about to go back to Duke now, but I got 32 marks of grace, which is 320 doses of stamina or 80 4-dose staminas. Oh, it's my first time dying at Duke. Oh man. Now, time for a full run through of the boss fight, and keep in mind this isn't by any means the efficient way to fight Duke. This is just the way I've been doing it and what's been working for me and what I think is going to work best for me long term to really grind this boss out. The first thing I do is I drop 6 food to make space for the puzzle items. The first phase of the boss is kind of like solving a puzzle, but it's the same puzzle every single time, and there's some things you want to avoid. So there's these shadow lightning strikes on the ground that you want to dodge, but it's not a big deal if you do get hit by them. It's like 15 damage and it stuns you for a second. However, the extremities on the wall shooting out light, you don't want to get hit by those. I've only been hit by it once. I think it was like 60 damage or something. I don't remember too well, but yeah, you definitely want to avoid those. And luckily, it is completely avoidable. If you hug the wall and only go on the tiles that I have marked, then you will never take damage from the extremities, only from the shadows. So you get 2 of each of the mushrooms unless you're below 80 herb lore, then you'll need 3, and make sure you grind them up. Otherwise, if you turn them in without grinding them, you'll have to go back for more. You always need 12 of the salt deposit as well, and I always wait for the vents to appear before going to mine it, although in this case the vents were already up, so I didn't have to wait. You can run back and forth between the 2 fermentation vats to save a few ticks for this part, but again, I don't care that much. If you run to mine the salt as soon as the vents pop up, then the timing works out perfectly so that you don't have to wait for the vents after making the potions. You can just run straight in and start the fight. I summon the Thrall, get in the BGS specs, and then run behind the pillar after every hit to avoid his smashing the ground British tantrum attack. And when he does the eye attack, you want to wait behind the pillar for that to be over, because you saw what happened to me when I messed that up. People will tell you to count the number of Duke's attacks so you know when the eye attack and the vent attack are going to be coming, but the number of hits changes based on what threshold of health the boss has left. So honestly, I'd say don't worry about counting, just play with the game sound effects on, which is the middle volume slider. And after a few kills, you'll get used to which sounds mean what's about to happen, and eventually you'll get an instinctual feeling for the timing even without the sound on. Although I always keep the sound effects on for Duke. The only damage you should take is from the chip damage, which I think is just there as a way to prevent people from staying at the boss forever. And the best time to eat is when you're waiting behind the pillar during the eye attack, since you're not doing anything anyways. And that has me wondering, do British people call it chip damage or crisp damage? I don't know, bro. Let's ask Duke and see what he thinks. Okay, sorry, I'm done with the British jokes. You could actually sneak in another attack right as the eye is popping out if you know the timing, but once again, I'm not that sweaty about the DPS. One more thing is that Duke attacks every 5 ticks until 25% health, then he becomes enraged and attacks every 4 ticks. There are a lot of other small tweaks and optimizations you can make, but this isn't a guide and I'm recording this a week after release, so that stuff might change over time. But you can always check the Duke strategies page on the wiki if you care about how the fight changes at each health threshold and other optimizations and all the specific facts about the fight. But I'd recommend you just go start fighting the boss and learning all this stuff as you go. One last thing I'll show in this voiceover, because I know someone's going to want to see it, is tick manipulating the mushrooms. There's a certain timing where you can 1 tick to get the first mushroom, so if you want to do that, then you can replay this clip a few times to help. Here's 200 Dookie Casey. It's been a long day, so before I go to bed, I just want to show my strength XP and hit points XP per hour I was getting. At Vard, I was getting like 75k strength XP per hour, and I think it was 18k hit point XP per hour, so this is noticeably a lot less XP per hour, probably because half the time you're spending just doing the puzzle rather than actually fighting the boss. So just wanted to point that out. There's these mints in urinals and bathrooms. Sometimes I steal them for myself. Pink flavor is my favorite. I always get confused which ring is which. Okay, that's the low ring. I guess I should just charge them both all the way up so it won't matter, but I just have one ring designated as the low charge ring for when I die. To get me some of that Duke-ussy. Sorry, hopefully you never have to hear that term ever again. Oh, yo, it's my first time getting the Dragon Plate Legs drop. It's sick. That's money, baby. Of course it's not noted though, but hey. Yeah, these ALK for basically GE value, so it's straight up gonna be 1.1 mil in GP. That's a 1 out of 100 drop. So I'm like as double the rate to see it. Luckily it's instant, so if I wasn't about to end my trip anyways, then I could just leave it on the ground. Unless I died, but then it would all go away. But I've never died at this boss, so it's fine. I play more RuneScape so I can buy more bank space, so I can play more RuneScape so I can buy more bank space. Really is a vicious cycle. I'm so surprised how many people like the Duke pet, because when the GOTR pet came out, everyone's like, ugh, what is this monstrosity, this ugly thing? But then with the Duke pet, everyone's like, this freak is adorable. The hypocrisy of the Osrs community, man. I guess it is like a monkfish. The only difference though is that monkfish aren't real, while the other unfortunately is. Okay, I gotta stop. Wait, that's my second ice quartz. Cool, yeah, so those are 1 out of 200 after you get your first one. And there is yet another ice quartz number 3 at 254 KC. They're not tradable though, so it's not gonna help anyone but myself. Favorite new DT2 pet? My favorite new DT2 pet, I just have to pick the most fuckable one. So the Duke pet. 5th grade pizza party. Oh, no way. No way, that's the ring thing, dude. Magus Vestige. Holy. Dude. I don't even know what this does. So this is the upgrade to the Sears ring. So I guess we should go make that now. Never mind, I can't make that. I need 3 Tramin ingots, and I only have 2, so never mind, I'm not gonna go make it. I got the hard part out of the way though. It's 1 out of 720 for the Vestige. There's no loot beam for that. When I got the Awakener's orbs, there's a bright orange beam, but this is just like, cool, it's something, I guess. I don't even know why I'm here. I don't know why I'm doing the boss. I just want to get a high KC. I just want to get a higher KC than Puff. Yeah, the streamer luck's really kicking in today, huh? Imagine the back-to-back into the pet. Are we waiting in line to go in? Moving pretty slow today, huh? It's actually really weird because I'm not on the UK world right now, so I don't know why they're queuing like that. That is my goal, to make you exhale from your nostrils at a slightly higher velocity than normal. What's up, Loki? The classic catch of runes. Yeah, that was on purpose, pal. Of course it was on purpose. What the? Wait, what is this? What is Eye of the Duke? Wait, that was back-to-back from the Vestige. What? Is that the axe piece? That's that. I was like, what? I didn't even know what that was. Wow. That actually was back to back. So I just need the pet, and then you can get the Virtus pieces from the other bosses. So I guess theoretically I'd want to get the pet eventually, so I'll just keep staying here a bit longer then, because it's alright. It's alright here, I guess. It's okay. Sometimes I get lucky. The Eye of the Duke is 1 in 720 as well. Can we get the first back 3 back on the series? No! I can't believe how unlucky I am. This game's why is this game always so unfair to me? And there's no Awakener's Orb. Wow, what a great last hour. I don't know why this guy was gaslighting you. Well, gaslighting's not real. People just make that up for attention. No way, the Prospector switch. I think it's a legit mining method because you get 5 XP each time you mine the salt, so you could just theoretically stay in here. What are we sipping on? This is tap water. Oh, there's an Awakener's Orb. Oh, I just realized I missed the 300 KC, but I guess 303 KC is also proof that at one point I did hit 300 KC. This is kind of a milestone. 200 Hisporic KC. No bucket, man. Nice. I just finished one more agility session for this video, mainly because I was stalling as I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do for the next video, but I have that figured out, which means I can now end this video. So from this last little agility session from last night and this morning, I got 85 more mod marks of grace, so I've got almost 2,500 total. And throughout this video, this is the total agility XP I gained, almost 350k. Now, before I end, there is some things that we have to go over, which I want to first off start with the Serp Helm charges. I started using the Serp Helm at 5kc with 11k charges, and I now have, or scales, I now have 4750 scales left. So that's 6,250 scales used in 301 kills. So if we divide that, that is 20.7 scales used per kill. I got a free pestle and mortar from every trip, and now my stack of pestle and mortars is up to 64. I have some notes I wrote down that I need to just mention before wrapping things up. So I got a lot more perfect kills at Duke than I did at Vard. I think it's a lot easier to get perfect kills there. My trips on average, if I didn't get a supply drop, were 4 kill trips, but the supply drops won in about 5.4, so usually my trips would get extended. And of course, the most important part, the collection log from, yeah, the first one during the quest didn't count, so it's 305 Duke KC. That is a GE value of 54.7 mil. But even excluding the Virtus robe bottom, which you would not expect to get in this KC, that's still about 25 mil. Over the long term, I figured out that I averaged about 13 to 14 kills per hour, around like 13.5 was average. So this is about 22 hours of Duke for me. So that means excluding Virtus, if it's 25 mil GP, that's still over a mil GP per hour without getting the crazy unique. And then, oh yeah, I got these things too, which don't even count for a GE value because they're untradeable until you actually make the thing with them. So that would add on some value or some expected value as well. So many rubies and diamonds, so many ores, dude, over 7,000 coal, and all the Addy and rune, the soul runes that I would use for my shadow if I had one. Excluding Virtus robes, if we say this is about 25 mil GP, then that means I averaged 82k GP per kill. But if we do include it, then that's more than double. That's about 180k per kill. Also want to mention that I think I averaged about 1 stamina dose every 2 kills. I honestly didn't really have a reason why I came to this boss in the first place. Like, before I got these drops, I legit didn't even know what this was or what this was, and I just looked them up. I'm like, oh, that's cool. I guess I'm just hyped to try out the new bosses since Desert Treasure 2 came out. Although the downside of trying these, since they're relatively new at the moment, is that there's no combat achievements, and it seems more likely than not that it's more of a matter of when, not if, there's gonna be combat achievements. It seems like that's what they've been doing. Whenever new bosses have been added since CAs have existed, they've been waiting like a month, maybe a couple months before they've added combat achievements to the new bosses. So it's probably best to not spend too long in each of the DT multi-2 bosses until the combat achievements come into the game. Like, if I got the pet, then I'd be done, right? But it's nice to at least get my foot in the door and just understand how the bosses work and get their basic mechanics down. And then when their combat achievements come out, I can come back to them later on. So next video, I will be doing the Leviathan. If I were to come back to grind out Duke though, I would want the master combat achievements done because it makes thralls last 50% longer. And right now I need about like 1.5 thralls per kill, so that would be really nice. But anyways, with that said, you can check out my duo teammate Spookdog's YouTube channel linked below in the video description, and you can see how her max and grind has been going. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope that you have a great day, and I will see you again next time.